way better plating for my pictures, but I just wanted to show you guys. I'm going to dig into it. You can see it just falls apart, but then hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be making an easy but yet delicious brown stew oxtail. So to make this, we are going to be needing some browning. This is a packet of browning that a friend of mine brought me back from Jamaica. But if you can't find them, you can use this browning, which you can find in most grocery stores. If you are using this, you are going to want to add about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar to this recipe. And I have some thyme and 3 bay leaves. I have a packet of all-purpose seasoning. If you can find this, you can use any brand of all-purpose seasoning. I have about 3 teaspoons of Haitian Epis. If you don't know how to make this, check the card that just came up so you guys can see how to make your own Epis. 2 lime to clean my meat. Some heat. I'm using some crushed red pepper. And I have some sour orange juice. If you don't have this, you can use the juice of that lime. And I have some ketchup. I'll be using about 3 tablespoons of ketchup, salt and pepper to taste, some olive oil. I have 1 can of butter beans, which I love in this recipe. And I have some beef broth. And here I have about 3 cloves of garlic. I left 1 whole and I chopped 2, 1 chopped tomato, 1/2 an onion chopped up, half a red bell pepper or green bell pepper chopped up. I have a mix of both. And I have 3 small carrots cut up as well. And I have about 5 pounds of oxtail. This is one of the packets. I have 3 of them. This is what they look like. And you are going to be needing a little bit of water as well. Please check the description box where I will list everything I use in the video and the exact measurements. So let's get cooking, guys. I went ahead and removed all my oxtails out of the package. And now I am going to trim some of the fat off. As most of you know, there's really not that much meat to oxtails, but we just love them so much. So like I said, we want to remove some of the fat, but then we want to keep the meat attached to the bone still. We don't want anything falling apart before we start cooking it. So just carefully do that. And sometimes I wonder why I love oxtails so much, because they are so expensive, guys. Those of you who know definitely know. They're expensive, but with a little bit of meat to it, really. But I love oxtail stew, so I don't mind spending a little coin just to make me happy. So like I said, those of you who know just know this, because I'm sure there's some of you that love oxtails as much as I do. Okay. As you can see, I'm trimming a lot of the fat off as much as I can. Okay. You don't want to take it all off, but you do want to remove most. If you love oxtail, like this video, comment down below. Let me know, like this little guy here, I am not wasting anything. I'm putting it right back in there. Give this video some love. Try to get it to 200 likes for me. I would really love and appreciate that from you guys. And if you are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we upload. A lot of you have been telling me you don't get the notification when I post. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. That's how you are going to get notified, okay? Oh, I lost one. You can see one totally flew out of my hands. I guess that one don't want to be cooked. But guess what, honey? You are going in that pan today. All right, take it back. Don't come for my singing. I know I can't sing, okay? I can cook, but I can't sing. I leave the singing to my sister. All right, trim, trim, trim. Looks pretty good. And now we are going to take that lime and rub all over. I do not want that meat on the bottom of my bowl. So take that lime. You guys know I do this with every meat and rub all over our oxtails. Okay. And then once we do that, we're going to rinse it under some hot water before we start seasoning our oxtails. Now it's time to season our oxtail. So I'm going to take that packet of all-purpose seasoning and put the whole thing in there. Again, if you have just any brand of all-purpose seasoning, you can use about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to take that browning and just dump the whole packet in there as well. If you're using the regular browning, you can use about 3 tablespoons. It depends on how much oxtails you are making. Okay. And I'm going to be using about a cap of that sour orange juice. Or maybe 2 caps. Okay. And I am going to put some black pepper to taste. And a little bit of salt to taste as well, even though that all-purpose seasoning does have a little bit of salt, but I want this to have a nice flavor. Not too much salt, I guess, not a salty flavor, but I want it to be seasoned really nice. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of that crushed pepper. And let me show you guys something. So this is the regular browning, just for the sake of you guys seeing what that look like. For those of you who don't know, this is what it looks like. So I'm putting just a little bit of that in there. I didn't really have to, but I just wanted to, I guess. And now I'm going to add that green seasoning. As a Haitian, this is just something I love to use in all my meat. Plus, even if you're not Haitian, this adds some great flavors to your meats if you're marinating your meat. So I highly recommend that you guys try that green seasoning or that Epis. Epis is what we call it in Creole. And I am not putting any of that tomatoes, onions, none of that in there, because sometimes it's really hard to take them out or pick them out when I'm trying to brown my oxtails, okay? So now with your hands, clean hands of course, go ahead and mix everything together. And we are going to allow this to marinate for 3 hours or 24 hours if you have 24 hours, okay? Now you want to grab a pressure cooker or any heavy pot. You can grab a Dutch oven pot, and as you can see, it's really hot. I have my stove set to medium high, and now I am going to grab my oxtail. We are going to brown them. Make sure you don't burn yourself. We are going to let them brown 4 minutes on each side. Make sure you don't turn them until they are completely brown on each side. Again, 4 minutes. Make sure you don't grab the thyme or the bay leaves to put in there, okay? My oxtails are nice and browned. Now I am going to go ahead and of course remove them. And you are going to have a nice flavor that's left behind. Add some more olive oil. It may look burnt, but it's okay. And to that, I am going to add my onions. Once we deglaze that pot, it's going to look nice. I'm adding the garlic as well. And stir everything up. Let them cook for a minute. And now I'm going to add the tomatoes and my bell peppers and also the carrots. And I'm also going to add that garlic clove, that whole one. Mix them up really well and let them saute for about 3 to 5 minutes. This is what it's looking like. I know it have a lot of steam. It's hard for you guys to see. But now I am going to go ahead and return the oxtails to that pot. Ooh, I do not want to lose any oxtails at this point because They're already brown. Once I lose one, it's going to have to be tossed in the garbage pile. And I do not want to waste a good piece of oxtail. So as you can see, I'm just mixing everything together. If you haven't followed us on our social media platforms, go ahead and do so. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. And also you can find us on Pinterest and TikTok as well. All link will be down in the description box for you guys to check us out. And if you have an instant pot, you can do this recipe in an instant pot as well. Just follow the same instructions and cook it on your instant pot for 50 minutes, 50. Okay? Give it a quick taste. And I'm going to allow this to cook a little bit for about 15 minutes before I add any liquid to it. Now I'm going to go ahead and add that ketchup. It smells amazing already. And I am going to take that beef broth and pour it into that bowl that I marinated the oxtail in, because I don't want none of that delicious liquid to go to waste. And I did heat up my beef broth. And if you want more liquid, you can definitely use a little bit of water, okay? And just pour everything just like that. I have the thyme and the bay leaves. One thing I forgot to mention, I am going to add one Scotch bonnet or habanero pepper to it. And just give everything a nice stir. And now we are going to pressure cook this for 50 minutes, 50. Okay? And taste first. Add a little more salt if needed. While this is pressure cooking, I am going to make some Haitian rice. If you are interested in that rice, I would recommend you make some Haitian rice for this. Check the card that just came up for that Haitian rice and peas or Haitian rice and beans. I have rice and peas, rice and beans in there. Just search Lamise or Haitian rice. Everything should come up, okay? Very good. Tastes really, really good. So now I am going to pressure cook it for 50 minutes before I add the beans to it. My oxtails are all done pressure cooking. What I like to do is scoop out that extra fat on top, because there's no reason we need to consume that. So just scoop out the fat right on top. I don't know if you can see really well. So just like that. I'm going to get rid of that, okay? And put that to the side. And now I am going to allow it to cook for another 15 minutes without using the pressure cooker setting. Just let it cook at the stove top for another 15 minutes, I'd say, before we add that beans to it. Now I'm going to go ahead and put those beans. I did drain the beans before I put them in there. Okay. Give it a stir. And now we are going to allow it to continue simmering until that gravy is nice and thick. I am not going to put any cornstarch. I just don't really care for cornstarch when I make dishes like this, okay? So let it simmer up for another good 20 minutes. You can bring up the heat if you want, but let it do its thing. Taste, of course, and make sure there's enough salt, which might have enough salt. All right, guys, my oxtail recipe is pretty much done. You can see this is what inside the pot is looking like. I have some Haitian rice and peas. I am going to try with it. Just put on top. Oh, that looks so good. You guys know if I share something with you, it's definitely delicious. You can see. Of course, I'm going to do a way better plating for my pictures, but I just wanted to show you guys. I'm going to dig into it. You can see it just falls apart, but then it's still attached to the bone. You don't want to cook it to where you can't even see the bones and the meat. You know what I mean? But this is how I like mine. and I am going to taste real quick. Again, you can find that rice and peas recipe in this channel. This is pigeon peas and rice. My goodness, you guys. Seriously. And I only let it simmer for 15 minutes at the end, okay? I hope you guys try this recipe. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up if you found it helpful, if you tried it. And please, if you do try it, send me pictures, send me a message on my social media platforms. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much for watching. Please share this video with all your loved ones. And as always, continue to protect yourself. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.